Hey everyone, we're the Master Brothers.
And in today's video, we're going to be walking you through the latest Tesla software update and why the UK and the EU don't have access to the Boombox.
Where is it gone? To get straight into it, unfortunately in the UK and the EU, Boombox is going to be unavailable, which is a bit upsetting. And that's because the cars over here have not been manufactured with external speakers, and even if you were to install your own speaker, regulations do not allow you to use them.
You're only allowed to play very specific sounds outside your car, so the horn and AVAS. AVAS is the acoustic vehicle alert system, which basically only works under 12 miles an hour, and it plays a sound to let pedestrians know that you're driving, because otherwise the electric cars will be silent. That's going to be required after June of this year. So if you get your Tesla delivered in June or after June, it will come with an external speaker so that it can fulfill that regulation, but you still probably won't be able to use Boombox because of the regulations for AVAS. It's very specific.
So this is version 2020.48.30, and it just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Beautiful name. But what does that actually mean?
So 2020 is the year, obviously. It came out in 2020. And 48 is the week of the year that it came out in, so it came out in the 48th week, and 30 is the version. So this is the 30th version of the software that came out in the 48th week, so there's a lot of iteration going on here. And they still just didn't get it perfect. Now the driving visualization on the near side is even wider, so you can see more information about the road and your driving, but the navigation and everything else that goes on the other side of the screen is even smaller.
Yeah, this really annoyed me because even before the update, I thought the driving visualization was too wide, and now the navigation is smaller, so now you have to take your eyes even further off the road, which is dangerous in my opinion.
With all that said, they have made a slight improvement, so if you're using something that is covering the navigation like media controls or energy, on the driving visualization it now shows you the next turn you're going to make, so that kind of makes navigating easier if you're using the other part of the screen. So a bit of a trade-off with the size, but also being able to see your turn on the visualization.
Yeah, I think I might actually prefer that instead of having to look far away at the navigation, just having something that's closer to me that says where my next turn is, which is really what I need to know.
Yeah, maybe they should have that there at all times.
Yeah, that'd actually be quite good.
Or a heads-up display.
They just need to do a heads-up display. That'd actually be so cool.
It would be really good.
Especially because there's so much empty space there.
And it's really easy. It's literally just a screen and a reflection, I think.
I think that's how it works. The driving gears now appear vertically on the near side of the screen, and before it was on the left side of the driver's visualization. I mean, we didn't really notice the change that much, but what they've done is they've grayed out the battery. So before it was so easy to see as it was pretty much the only green thing on the screen, but now it's grayed out and it blends in quite well with the rest of it, so it's hard to see how much range you have.
Yeah, while you're driving, if you quickly want to glance at it, it blends in a bit too much, so it's hard to quickly gauge how much you've got left. Definitely prefer the green. The speed area now shows you the current driving speed, the autopilot set speed, and the autopilot availability, and the current speed limit all right next to each other. And that's kind of good. It's nice to have them all in one place. I was a little bit confused initially about my current speed, and then the actual autopilot speed that I could set it to was different. It was always like 1 mile an hour lower or higher. Quick access to the cameras and the wipers have now been moved to the bottom bar, which I really like because now everything's in one place. And before, if you would swipe to access your trip information or your tire pressures, it would have hidden them, but now you can always access them, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah, it's quite good. They've also removed the voice activation button, which, to be honest, neither of us really used. But I can kind of see that bottom bar getting a little bit cluttered, but I kind of want to see how I get used to that.
So now when you're in park, there's a 3D render of your specific car, and you have control, so you can open the frunk or the fruit. You can open and close the trunk and the boot, and you can open and close the charge port.
Yeah, so you can't unlock it from there, but it's pretty much just opening and closing it. This is nice to have, especially because they customized the 3D model to fit the look of your car. But what's very interesting is that with the refresh, they've updated the chrome trim to black, but they haven't updated the aero wheels. It's a bit nitpicky from us, but it's also interesting that Tesla didn't make that change.
I really don't like the old aero wheels. I much prefer the new ones, so I really wish they had actually updated it. Yeah. Especially since this is version 30. I mean, they could have probably worked that out. Another new feature with this software update is that scheduled departure now preconditions the cabin and the battery even when the car isn't plugged in. So before it would only do it when it's plugged in and charging, now it will do it even when it's not.
You can set this up from the charging menu or from the climate menu, but only when you're in park.
And within the scheduling setup, you can now tell your Tesla when your energy rates are lowest, which is perfect if you have an energy rate like Octopus Go, where the kilowatt hour price goes down to 5 pence between 12:30 a.m. and 4:30 a.m. It's also 100% renewable energy, so if you guys are into that kind of thing and you want cheaper energy for when you're charging your car, check out our link in the description for £50 off your bill.
When you're looking at your navigation, the supercharger pins will now show the number of available stalls at that location.
It'll also now show you the amenities available nearby, which is good to have if you're stopping off and you want to grab some food or you need to use the toilet. But it doesn't work for all of the locations, so some of them it won't show anything, which I found a bit strange. But in London, you're pretty much guaranteed to have something nearby, so it is a bit weird that it didn't show up. There's also a few new games in this software update, but we're going to be doing a full video about the different games available with Tesla and gaming with the controller, so make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when that one comes out. From the Master Brothers,
We'll catch you on the flippity flip.
flip.
You just get it first time.
Too good.
It's too sad. It's horrible.